What's good, my people? What it do? So check me out. I ain't been on the belt line for a little hot second. I've been at the gym, but this is where I'm at right now. Listen. So what I'm doing right now, just telling my story 7 years ago. You know what I mean? 7 years ago is when I was diagnosed with diabetes. So I'm gonna be sharing symptoms, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be letting it be known, when I was going through this situation, I was kind of fearful. I was just thinking, I could just take care of myself up and get better, not knowing it was diabetes, you know what I mean? So sometimes you feel something going wrong in your body, but you just think it's got like a cloud, and it's just gonna, move over, and you're gonna just get right back to whatever it is that you was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we think sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So that was me, and I'm here to say, if you're not feeling right, you gotta listen to your body, because a lot of people who don't end up hospitalized, and some people die at home. So this is very serious. A lot of heart conditions. You're not eating right, you're stressed out, you're smoking, you're drinking, and that's just like your your car. You know better to put than to put sugar in your tank. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that because you know you ain't gonna get too far. You feel me? So I'm here to say, in a situation, you gotta listen to your body. You gotta be smart. You gotta be vigilant, because I ended up at Grady. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to Grady real quick, and I'm coming right back home. When I went to Grady, you know, Grady always packed, emergency room packed. So when I went in there, what they do to determine who's sick and who's not, they check your temperature, um, they check your blood, and what I did was they checked my blood. I'll never forget this. The lady looked at me and said, "I don't know what you're still doing walking around." I said, "Who, me?" She said, "Yeah, you. Come with me. You the sickest one in here." I'm like, oh my God. I was in the bed, they strapped me up. I was next up. I was that my blood sugar was 775. Okay? My A1C was off the chart. It didn't even register. So I'm thinking I was going home. I'm like, I'll take care of myself at home. I'm not staying in the hospital. Then this lady, I'll never forget, she had told me a story, because I wanted to check out. I wanted to go home. She said there was a gentleman who came in here and he was younger than you. And he made the same decision. He went home. He died the next day. And she walked away from me. Yeah, I'm not laughing at that. But when I heard that, I put the blanket back on top of me and it was like, okay, I ain't going nowhere. But I was so embarrassed. I didn't know how to tell anybody I got diabetes. That was like the craziest thing, disease I'm thinking possibly that you can possibly have. I had to learn that it was devastating for me. Like, I couldn't tell my mother. I was embarrassed to tell my friends. You know what I mean? It was that bad for me. And I was in the hospital for a week. And all I wanted to know from the doctor was, what do I gotta do to be normal again? He said, take care of yourself. You gotta watch what you eat. You gotta work out. And guess what? I listened. And in just 47 days, I was off insulin. Done. And you know what happens when you're listening to your doctor's instructions. They normally start you off with a dosage of insulin you need. So, you know, what I had to do every time before I ate, I had to go and stick myself 3 times a day. And it hurt. I was like, I can't live like this. So that's why I listened. That's why it took me 47 days. So my dosages just went down, went down. They checked my numbers. I had to write my numbers down. You know what I mean? Um, my numbers were excellent because I was working out every day. I changed my diet 100%. I cold turkey stopped drinking. So I was the soda king. I was the juice king. Are you crazy? I drunk it all. And then on top of that, I was drinking beer. I was never like a heavy drinker like that anyway, but I was smoking weed, you know what I mean? And that wasn't good neither. You know what I mean? So this is what I did. These are the concrete confrontations that, you know, I had to admit to, you know, and I turned it all the way around 100%. Like I said, it was 47 days, and my doctor kept telling me, well, damn, his numbers are looking good. Go down more. Go down more. Go down more. Next thing you know, I was off insulin in 47 days. So, you know, me, what I did was I asked my doctor, you know, and I never got an answer from her. I asked her, I said, does my melanin in my body have something to do with why I don't need the insulin no more? And she never really answered me. So this is where I started to understand that your pancreas is like your um, what's the in your car, the pancreas and your alternator. Okay, if your alternator is done, your car ain't starting. You're gonna try to go get a new battery. It ain't your battery. Your alternator is shot. Your alternator and your pancreas is basically the same damn thing. Okay? And you gotta know this. Alternator, pancreas. That alternator go, it's a wrap. Your car ain't doing nothing. So if that pancreas go, you out of there. You on insulin for life. You know what I mean? So I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So that's where I was able to beat it. And it's like I said, it's been 7 years. And you know, I was big as a house. I was big as a house. And the crazy thing is, if I never would have got diabetes, I wouldn't have changed. You gotta go through it to get there. So I'm thankful for, you know, what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? On the real. I really, really, truly am. And this is what I'm talking to. And this is what I'm gonna be talking to. Like I said, we gotta get out there. You gotta walk. You gotta be determined. You gotta eat right. You know, you can't eat things that just is crazy with calories. You gotta watch your calories. If you watch your calories and you practice this method by eating right, working out, you're gonna see change. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna have more energy. I mean, my energy is like off the chain. I'm 55, you know what I mean? And I could run a mile straight like it's nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm in better shape than I was when I was 25, to be honest with you. So this is key, especially when we get older. We have to watch what we eat. We can't do the same things we were doing when we were younger. Health is wealth. Take care of yourself. One time.